Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Loli channel. So today I thought I would play with my new Planet Spirit palette from the new Oden's Eye collaboration. They did another collaboration with 3 smaller creators, one palette released for each creator. Last time around, I'm sure if you follow the brand, you'll remember that it was the legendary Diversa collection with Judy, the Fancy Face, and Annette's Makeup Corner. This time around we have the Perfect World collection in which they collaborated with Lauren May Beauty, Makeup Just for Fun, and Betty Jean. Funny story, Oden's Eye actually sent me Lauren May's palette, Sea Talk, by accident the first time, so I did do a quick little swatch video of that one if you guys are interested. But for me personally, I only opted to purchase this Planet Spirit palette by Betty Jean because this was, I think the color story speaks for itself. This was quite literally the loudest color story of the 3, and it also spoke to me the loudest. Yeah, I cannot wait to put these on my eyes because let me tell you, if the hand swatches were any indication, this may very well be the most pigmented palette so far of 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if it kept that title throughout the entire year. So yeah, let's just dive right in. I'm definitely going to try and use multiple colors in my look. Side note, doesn't this color story just scream carnival? You know, like the Caribbean celebration where people wear all these colorful costumes and parade in the street and stuff? This like perfectly matches that vibe. Okay, so I'm starting off with my Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. This is like only my 3rd time using this primer and I'm already obsessed. I'm ready to throw out all my other eyeshadow primers at this point, to be honest with you. There's not that many. I have the ColourPop Party Proof Primer and then some of the P. Louise primers, which are really getting old by this point. But yeah, this Tone Activator Primer is just so amazing and easy to work with that I don't feel like dealing with P. Louise or ColourPop's crusty formulas at this point. Okay, I want to start off with Kingdom, which is like this beautiful bright turquoise green. And we are putting that in the inner third of the eye. I kind of wish that there was like a lighter and deeper version of this so that I could do a nice gradation, but that is no big deal. We will just employ some expert layering here. This one, although it is still very opaque and pigmented, I feel like compared with some of the other shades in this palette, you do need to build up a little bit in order to get the full intensity, which is just fine by me because that gives me the perfect opportunity to lay it on really sheer if I wanted to. Then we're taking Fauna, which is this beautiful like pinky gold duochrome shade. It might be the sole duochrome in the palette. Actually, I feel like I should do this side of the eye first before I apply this because I want Fauna to kind of sweep over both halves of the eye, tie everything together. So yeah, I'm gonna do this side first. We're going to lightly dip into Habitat and I'm gonna blow that very lightly over the top outer half of my lid here. Then I'm layering over with some of Rescue, which is like the most neon fuchsia pink I have seen in a long time. I do have one other eyeshadow that came immediately to mind when I saw this Rescue shade. It is part of the Hello Kitty and ColourPop Tropical Escape collection. This little quad right here, this collaboration was a while ago, but it's still one of my favorites from ColourPop, hands down. The shade Yummy down here, I feel like is very similar vibes. This is ColourPop Hello Kitty and this is the Planet Spirit shade. So this one is actually like a much more muted, lighter version. Yeah, look at that. You can practically see it from a mile away. Then I'm going to go in with this Sanctuary color to deepen up the lash line. This is pretty much a dead ringer for Viva Magenta, the 2023 color of the year. Okay, so now I think is a good timing to go over the middle with Fauna. And yeah, I feel like this slight diagonal application that I'm doing helps give the illusion of a rounder eye. So pretty. Oden's Eye's duochromes are second to none. The ones in the palettes, at least. The single shadows that they released in that the recent Jewel Shine collection, those are a little bit of a different formula. Yeah, those got mixed reviews from a lot of people, including myself, but the ones in the palettes never cease to amaze me. Okay, so on the bottom lash line, I want to keep the pink and orange going. I want it to kind of connect around the outer edge. Gotta throw in some Douyin tear bag technique there. It's a non-negotiable by this point, okay? You're just gonna have to get with the program. If you're not a fan of the technique, I'm sorry, like go find another channel. And then I'm bringing the orange fade in the background really far out because I also want to kind of blend this in with my blush. Okay, so for the final touch in the inner corner, why don't we do this bright gold majestic shade here. It's like a canary yellow gold almost. Wow, super reflective. Hello. Wow, that is some blingy gold, okay? That is like Carrie's engagement ring that Aiden got her. Was it Aiden? I think it was Aiden, the one that Miranda helped pick out with him.
The ring was not good.
And she really didn't like it because it was ghetto gold.
You wear gold jewelry?
Yeah, like ghetto gold for fun, but this is my engagement ring.
So I did the rest of the steps off screen. For blush, I used the Oden's Eye Solmane Sunlight Love blusher in W102 Peach Gleam. It's a dead ringer for the orange in this palette. And then I also used, in a rare turn of events, this Tropico highlighter on top. This was from the Cleonade Dragon Fruit collection. To say that I'm in love is an understatement. I literally have no bad comments whatsoever, nothing bad to say about this palette. It's crazy because I almost passed over this entire collection completely, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I've been purchasing a lot of makeup lately. This is no shade, but I'm also not that familiar with the creators that they collaborated with this time around. But I'm so glad that I ended up purchasing this palette, because when I took a second look at the collection, I was like, wait a minute, that Planet Spirit palette kind of looks right up my alley. This is what I wish I could do with my makeup every single day, just drenched in these deep, rich jewel tones, and also what I wish was more socially acceptable in Japan. But that's okay, I can get quite enough satisfaction just on my own in my room. Yeah, I literally have nothing bad to say whatsoever. Like I already kind of predicted in the beginning of this video, this is hands down the most colorful and pigmented palette of 2023 so far for me, as far as the brands that I've tried, even including the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana. Well, let me say that they are on equal footing, yeah, because the Pat McGrath is also very, very pigmented. Oden's Eye mattes, especially their colorful mattes, are the best in the indies makeup game. You can fight me on that, I don't care, catch me outside. The shimmers and the duochrome in here, stunning as per usual. So this Fauna shade, not only is it so beautiful on its own, it's like a pink and gold shift, but if you layer it on top of certain colors, you can get even more of a variety of finishes from it. This majestic shade here, the yellow canary gold, is very foiled. So I really enjoy that because it makes it super reflective, like not just a glitter with a clear base. I think these other two shimmers, Animalia and Familiar, are more of like a classic glitter slash shimmer shade, but this majestic shade definitely has more of a foiled quality to it. For someone who is not even that big of a fan of golds, I have to say I love this gold in particular. Pigmentation check, blendability check, adhesiveness of the foiled and shimmer formulas check. Okay, the shimmers do not flake off your eyes. They are very, very adhesive. They have enough emollients to really grab onto the lid, grab onto other layers of eyeshadow as well. Check. What else is there to say? The only thing I will mention, which is not a con by any means, but just these two shades, Rescue and Sanctuary. As you could see, I kind of attempted to make them into like a gradation today, but it didn't really work out because it's not really, like, they don't really complement each other in the way that I was expecting, where I was expecting the Rescue shade to be lighter and then Sanctuary to be the shade that I could deepen it up with. Once I actually got to blending them together, there really was not as much contrast as I thought there would be. I think it's just because like the shades are different, but not necessarily one is so much lighter than the other, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it, just like a different vibe to each shade, right? Like Sanctuary is more of that neon pink vibe, and then Sanctuary is more deeper and cool toned. So in the future, when I do more looks with this palette, I would probably opt to use either or rather than try to combine them together. It just looks too similar when you put them side by side on the eye. So that's the only noteworthy like footnote or caveat that I have about this palette. Even aside from the amazing quality and color story, everything just performing exactly as I expected, I have to say that it was simply just such a joy working with this palette. There are certain palettes that I just vibe with off the bat more than others, like regardless of the, it could be like the best quality eyeshadow formula, you know, a really well thought out cohesive color story. But if I just don't vibe with the palette straight away, it's something that I cannot explain. I can tell within the first 5 seconds of using a palette whether or not I'm going to get along with it on a spiritual level. This is just one of those palettes that I feel like we connected on a spiritual level, you know? Am I thinking too deeply about this? Probably, but hey, I have a whole channel dedicated to reviewing makeup, okay? What do you want me to do? One of the telltale signs of when I know that me and an eyeshadow palette or any new makeup product that I'm trying out are going to be best friends, if I find myself continuing to like apply more layers of the product, you know, just not wanting to stop playing with it, continuing to blend more and add more layers, even though there's nothing left to blend, there's nothing really left to intensify, pigmentation is already at max level, especially with a formula such as Oden's Eye, but I find myself like not wanting to end the application session, that's when I know that I connect with this palette on a spiritual level. I felt the same way about the Sol Mane 2 palette from Oden's Eye, most of Oden's Eye recent releases. Yeah, like starting with the Sol Mane 2, it was that palette, and then the Christmas palettes, this one palette from Oden's Eye that I did not vibe with for whatever reason, and this is no shade to anyone, but the collaboration that they did with Angelica Nyquist, the Hela palette, that one was objectively beautiful. The color story was also very up my alley. It was right on par with the other palettes that I love, like this one and Sol Mane 2, but for some reason I wasn't feeling it, and I don't think I even did a video on that palette. I ended up giving it away to a friend. So it's just like some products have that X factor and some do not. Let me know if you guys experience the same thing. I know I cannot be alone on this. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Congratulations to Betty Jean, aka Baddie Bean, for putting out such an amazing bomb-ass palette not even halfway through 2023. She already won, like, we might as well call it now. She won the eyeshadow palette collab game of 2023. Let me know if you guys picked up anything from this Perfect World collection with Oden's Eye. If you did, which palette or palettes did you get? Which one is your favorite? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!